Good morning, Senior 2. Our lesson today is about function. This is the first lesson in algebra, okay? And this is a very important topic in algebra, which is function. And you're gonna know the definition of the function and the condition and some properties about functions. Okay, what's the meaning of function? The function is a relation between two variables, which are x and y. These are the two variables. Okay, then function is a relation between two variables or between two sets of numbers. What I mean, the set of numbers of x and the set of numbers of y. That's the definition of function. Is any relation represent a function? No, not any relation represents a function. So what's the condition to say that this relation is a function of x? Okay, a function of x. When every element in domain, what is domain? The values of x. Okay, where every element in x يعني كل x has a unique image in codomain في ال y. بمعنى عامي جدا يعني every element في ال x يعني كل x has one image يعني one value في ال y. Okay, مش أقل من واحدة ومش أكتر من واحدة. يعني لازم every x has a unique image في ال y. Okay, for example عندنا هنا relation between two sets of numbers. The relation is x times 2. What I mean that we gonna take every element in x and we gonna multiply it by 2 to get the image of y. Okay, 1 times 2 it will be 2. 2 times 2 it will be 4. 3 times 2 it will be 6. 4 times 2 it will be 8. These values of x we call it input. These are the values of x which are called input, the input values, okay? Or the values of x, or we call it domain. So what's the meaning of domain? The domain is a set or interval represents the values or the possible values of x. Then the domain is 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay. After going to the process, we get the image or the values of y, which are 2, 4, 6, 8. Then the output, and we call the values of y the output or the image. That's the word image. Okay, the output or the image of x in codomain, which are the values 2, 4, 6, 8. And these values of y, we call it range. So what is the meaning of range? It's a set or interval which contains the values of y. We notice that every element in domain, every element of x, 1, 2, 3, 4, has a unique image in codomain. يعني ملاحظين إن كل value للx بتطلع لي only one solution in ال y. تمام? Which is the condition of the function that every element in domain has a unique image in codomain. And the set or the interval which contains all the values of x is called domain. So what's the meaning of domain؟ لما أقول لك في السؤال هات الدومين، الدومين مش رقم، الدومين عبارة عن set أو interval يعني مجموعة أرقام represents كل ال values المحتملة للx. Okay. And we know that range is a set or interval which contains all the values of y, all the images of x in codomain, which are 2, 4, 6, and 8. تمام؟ احنا هنا عرفنا definition function، عرفنا condition بتاعها ان every x has a unique image in y, and we know the meaning of domain and range, which is very important to know what's the meaning of domain and what's the meaning of range. domain هو عبارة عن set أو interval مجموعة أرقام represent x اللي هي الأرقام بتاعة x. الرينج هو عبارة عن set or interval، يعني مجموعة أرقام represent الفاليو بتاعت ال y. Let's see example 1. Which of the following represents a function in x؟ هو بيسأل هنا which of the following is a function or not. يعني احنا بنحاول نتشيك ال condition إن every x أو every element in domain has a unique image in codomain. طيب دي كده الفانكشن اللي عندي، طبعا عارفين دي اسمها ordered pair. The first place represents ال x and the second place represents ال y. Okay, then the domain is 1 or 3 or 4. This is the domain, 1 or 3 or 4. We use this diagram, which is called the arrow diagram, to organize the data, to organize the values of x and the values of y. When x equals 1, the value of y is 2. Then this value of x has a unique image in y. When x equals 3, y equals 4. So 3 has a unique image in y. When x equals 4, y equals 5, then every element in domain has a unique image in codomain. Then this relation is a function in x with domain 1, 3, 4 and range 2, 4, 5. Okay, the range is the values of y, the domain is the values of x. Example 2. Here we have a relation between two sets of numbers. The set of numbers representing x is 1, 3. If we have number repeated, we write it once, okay? We write it one time. Then we have 1, 3, and 4. The range is 2, 4, 5, 6. So we write it in arrow diagram. This is the column of x, 1, 3, 4, and this is the column of y, 2, 4, 5, 6. Now we are gonna match the values of x with its image in codomain. When x equals 1, y equals 2 and 5. Now 1 has 2 images in codomain. And when x equals 3, the value of y is 4. Okay, and when x equals 4, the value of y equals 6. So this relation is not a function in x. Why? Because the value of x equals 1 has 2 images in codomain, which is not satisfying the condition of the relation. Okay, this is example 2. Example 3. Let's read this expression f where these 2 points are called where. F from 1 to 3, 4, this is the domain. The interval before the arrow is the domain. 2R, this is the codomain, which is not the range. Okay, the codomain is not the range. The codomain is always R because we are dealing with real functions, which means the numbers that we are dealing with are the real numbers. Okay, now let's arrange our numbers in the arrow diagram. This is x and this is y, which is given. This is the question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now 1 has a unique image. 2 has a unique image in y. 3 has no image. Number 3 has no image in codomain. 4 has an image. Then this function, this relation is not a function. إذا مس يعني لو في عندي number في الx ليه 2 values في الواي يبقى not function ماشي. طب لو في رقم ملهوش اصلا value في الواي برضو تبقى not function. بالظبط هتبقى not function عشان ال 3 ملهاش image في الواي. لازم كل element في الاكس يكون طالع منه سهم واحد بس. تمام. Okay, let's see example 4. Example 4, we have the domain is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the domain 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, which are the values of x. When x equals 1, y equals 6. When x equals 2, y equals 6. When x equals 3, y equals 6. And when x equals 4, y equals 6. So, is every element in domain has a unique image in codomain? When you answer this question, is every element in domain has a unique image in codomain? Yes. Every number in X has only one answer in Y. يعني بمعنى عمي كل number في الإكس طالع منه سهم واحد بس. طالع منه only one arrow. Okay? Then this is a function in X. Okay? So the range of this function, it will be only number 6. And by the way, this function is called constant function. Why we call it for constant function? Because y is constant number, and when you change the x values, the values of y still constant as it is. Okay? This is part 1, how to check the condition of the relation, is it function or not function, from the arrow diagram or from the ordered pairs. Okay, now we are gonna check this condition from graph. How to know from the graph if this relation is function or not? To know if the relation represents a function or not from graph, we use a test which is called the vertical line test. What's the meaning of vertical line test? We imagine that we have a vertical line. Do you know the meaning of vertical line? Vertical line, perpendicular line, perpendicular to the ground. يعني عمود. تمام? The vertical line test. We are gonna draw a vertical line if this line makes one intersection point. If this line makes one intersection point, this with the graph, then this relation is a function. Okay. If this vertical line makes more than one intersection point, then this relation is not a function. يعني يا ميس بالعامية كده أنا هرسم vertical line أو هتخيل vertical line، لو عمل لي intersection عند one point تبقى function، لو عمل لي intersection عند أكتر من one point more than one point يبقى not function. ميس intersection with مين؟ intersection with the graph، الجراف بتاع الفانكشن نفسه اللي هو باللون الأزرق. تمام؟ Okay, let's see how to do this test. In the first graph, we have this relation, and we want to figure out if it's a function or not function. We are gonna draw a vertical line in anywhere. This vertical line makes only one intersection point with the graph. Then this is a function in X. The second one, if you draw a vertical line in any place, you will find that you have two intersection points. And that's why it's not a function in X, as this vertical line makes two intersection points. Now we have a lot of questions, a lot of graphs, and we want to know which of them is function and which is not function. The first graph is a circle. If you draw a vertical line in any position, you will find that there are two intersection points, then it's not function. The second one, if you draw a vertical line, you will find that there is only one intersection point, then this is a function. Correct. The third graph, let's draw a vertical line, and you will find that we have only one intersection point in anywhere of the graph. You will find that we only have one intersection point, this is a function. Okay, let's see. This graph, if we draw a vertical line here, we will find that we have only one intersection point. But if you draw a vertical line here, this orange vertical line, you will find that you have how many intersection points? 2 intersection points. Then this is not a function. يعني مس لو في حتة واحدة بس طلع لي فيها أكتر أو more than one intersection point, then it's not a function. Okay, let's see the next example. The next example, we have here open point. Open point means that this point doesn't exist to the يعني point D is not exist, مش موجودة. So لو احنا عملنا vertical line in this place, we will find that we have only one intersection point, which is a function. Okay. The next example, if we have a vertical line in this place, you will find that we have a line segment intersection. Line segment consists of infinite number of intersection points, which is not a function. Similarly here, if we have a vertical line here, we have an infinite number of intersection points. Okay, so it's not a function. Thank you for listening. We are gonna continue the function the next video, inshallah.